first television interview since his arrest, the former drummer of the mega band Journey talks to us about his conviction for domestic violence.
Deen Castronovo was sentenced in Marion County for abusing his ex-fiancée. Today, he told our Amy Frazier he takes responsibility for letting down his family, fans, and the community.
Okay.
Fired from Journey and sentenced to 4 years supervised probation for abusing his now ex-fiancée. 51-year-old Deen Castronovo sat down with me at his brother's home near Salem.
My choices and my behaviors and my actions brought me to my knees.
It was just last April the then Journey drummer stood before hundreds of South Albany High School students, giving them money and encouragement after a school fire.
What do you say to those kids now who were looking up to you?
Well, people make mistakes. What I did was inexcusable.
Castronovo was arrested last June when his then fiancée reported the domestic violence.
And I will be forever grateful because this woke me up. She saved my life.
One thing I don't understand is, as an abuser, what made you think that violence was okay?
Being abused as a child, not physically or any of that, but there's a lot of different stages of abuse. You've got physical, you've got verbal, you know these things. Doesn't make it okay. It's not that I thought it was okay. When you're using and drinking, you're not thinking clearly at all.
Castronovo tells me he's struggled with drug and alcohol abuse for years.
I've been in the process of being a rock star, or a musician, or a drummer, or a singer. That was my identity. Those were the masks I wore, because inside I was miserable. Never liked myself.
After his arrest, he completed a 75-day inpatient treatment program at Hazelden Betty Ford Springbrook in Newburgh.
Do you feel like the alcohol and drugs are responsible for what happened?
It's not a responsible thing. Drugs and alcohol have exacerbated the issue. My anger and the violence I've learned through my domestic violence classes, it's a choice. It's something that you choose to do. It's calculated.
He says he finally figured out, after losing everything, what's really important.
Family, kids, and me. Being in a band doesn't define me anymore. Being a musician does not define me. What defines me now is who I am, walking this program and working it the rest of my life.
As he continues domestic violence and drug abuse counseling, Castronovo says he hoped sharing his story will help others avoid the kind of hurt and destruction he's caused, and now vows to rebuild from.
Talk to me in a year. We'll see where I am in a year.
We will.
I would appreciate that. And then in 2 years, and 3, and 4, and 5. It's time. It's time to embrace life.
Near Salem, Amy Frazier, KOIN 6 News.
If you or someone you know is in a domestic violence situation, there are people ready to help. We've had the number right here on the screen. And if you don't, it's hard to write all those numbers down, and we will have them for you on our website.
Yeah, again, 1-800-799-SAFE. Very brave, I think, for him to speak out. A big lesson to learn in all of this as well.
Yeah, and you can tell he's not done learning the lesson. You can tell from his voice he's in a very fragile spot, and so we will check back on him in a year.
As Amy said.